All right. Back again. Mr. Pappy, I should say. Most important, customer service or clean fade?
Oh man, customer service all day long.
Easy.
That's an easy one. I mean, this is a customer service business first. First. It's a haircutting business second.
Clean fade or marketing?
Same thing, man. Marketing. Yeah, I mean, a clean fade, again, it's subjective. What does that even mean? Some people think one thing is a clean fade and some people think another thing is a clean fade. So it's all about everything on the back end, haircutting secondary.
Yeah. I have a guy who's really good in my shop and everybody thinks he's the greatest. But then there's been a couple clients that come in and never came back because of that same person. So that kind of falls up underneath what you said. Like, you know.
No, the guy who's cool, he'll be busy forever.
Right.
And his haircuts might be the worst in the shop. But in a year, he'll be just as busy as the other guy and he'll be retaining all those customers too.
Posting or being shy?
Like on social media?
It's kind of the same thing, advertising.
Yeah, advertising. I mean, this is 2023, man. You got to post. I'm not a big component of putting myself out there for my stores. Mm-hmm. But definitely you got to advertise your stores. You got to post. You got to, anybody who's following you that sees a story, it's just reminding them that you're there. That's all that is to it, because when it comes time for them to get a haircut, if they're thinking about getting their haircut this morning, they're on the toilet, they're scrolling through and they see your little ad or your little goofy video or whatever. And then they go, oh yeah, I'm going to go over there again.
It's in their head. Investing or the latest Air Jordans?
Oh, come on. Man.
Like I said, they're pretty obvious, but it's a game. I got to ask.
You know what the thing is? Here's what I've learned over the years. I grew up pretty humble, man. Poor actually. And I have an income that I could have never dreamed of as a kid. And the ability to be able to do whatever I want is much cooler than just buying something. And the funny thing is the better I do financially, the less stuff I want. Because it's a way cooler flex to be like, I could do it, but I don't want to do it.
Right.
Than to be like, I got the new Jordans, but I'm broke. I have it on credit.
Right.
That's always, and that is the barber's number one downfall. They want to look like they've got a bunch of stuff because, I've been around some pretty wealthy people over the years now. I've done some other cool things in my life too that have allowed me to be around some pretty successful people. And the ones who I know are the most successful are the least flashy.
The least, yeah.
Yeah, because you just realize like who do I need to impress here? I don't need to impress anybody, Much cooler that I can take my kids on trips and send them to private school and do these types of things is way cooler than having like a flashy car or flashing whatever. Yeah. So I would say investing all day long over new Jordans.
When I did music, I always wanted the chain, the bracelets, the this, the that, and I was broke. But I had all of the look, I'm paid, the Gucci. And now that I'm in my 40s, the only jewelry I wear is the jewelry that my daughter makes. Yep. You know what I mean? No chains, no gold. I had gold teeth 4 or 5 times. You know what I mean? It doesn't appeal to me. Like, the more money that I have in my bank, the less I care about any of those things. I have a brother. He's not that financially stable, but he bought a new car, and the very first thing he did when he pulled up, he's like, turned it all the way up. His music's blasting. I'm like, that's the very first thing that you did when you bought a new car was put all of this music in it at 47 years old. Yeah. So it let me know like he still got a little.
And there's, what comes with like super nice stuff like that is stress. You don't want to scratch your car. You don't want to get your shoes dirty. You don't want to, and the cost of maintaining those things is like, it's just silly, man. It's so much better to just really focus on them things that are important, man. Them kids, that's the main thing.
I'm trying to get out of my Tesla now. It's like $500 and some odd dollars a month.
Yeah.
And I literally don't even get on the highway to go to work.
Because you don't want to get it chipped or whatever. Yeah.
Well, it's just not that far for me. And it's like I'm paying $500 a month to go from here to there.
Yeah.
And so people always ask me, oh, well, what you going to get next? What you going to get next? And I told them I'm going to get a Honda with no car payments.
Yeah, no doubt.
And liability insurance.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because when I sold my tattoo removal business, I had some capital gains tax that I had to pay, which is crazy. And my accountant's like, you have to make a big purchase, like, because you have to bring this income way down. Is there anything you want? I was like, I wear Vans, man. Like, I'm like not a flashy person at all,
right?
You know? And he's like, well, is there any kind of cool thing you ever wanted? I was like, a Tesla's kind of cool. So I actually bought the Model Y, but I was fortunate enough to be able to buy it. But I'll tell you what, I've always driven like a Prius before. And now I have this car, and every day I'm like, oh, another scratch, another ding, the rims I scratched up, I grind them on the curbs. I'm like, the stress of having this car, it ain't worth it, man. I would rather go back to my Prius.
Is that your black one back there?
Yeah.
I seen it when I pulled up. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of.
But yeah, that's the first flashy thing I've ever owned, ever. And it's totally not my style. And
wife appreciates it though, right?
No, she's like me. She's even more low key than me. So yeah, she's always like, you got this pretentious car, man. I don't understand. And I'm like, midlife crisis. You know, I'm almost 50. I thought maybe I should get something cool. But yeah, the stress that comes from it is like, it's crazy, man. And I will much rather go back to like a smaller, nicer, easier car to get.
If you work hard, got to play hard a little bit.
Yeah, you got to play hard a little bit.
And I'm sure the kids will appreciate it. My daughter, I'll always tell her this story about how when I was younger, I was, we were super poor, and my mom drove this big old yellow banana Cadillac. I never wanted her to drop me off at school. Yeah. Right? And so now fast forward to I'm a parent, and when I go drop my daughter off at school, I have a bucket and then I have a Tesla. She never ever wants me to drop her off in the bucket. She's like, Dad, don't drive the bucket. If you do, drop me off across the street.
That's so funny. And how old is your daughter?
She's 12.
Oh, so yeah, same.
12. And today she just rode her bike. She has a little
I saw you posted on about
just
earlier.
Today.
Yeah.
So I'm getting to the freedom part. You know? And if I can open up this third shop, I'll have some financial freedom, time to spend.
Yeah, that's the main thing, man.
I'm getting there, brother. I'm getting there.
Those kids, man. It's you only get those years with them. You know what I mean? You think about back to when you were. I was ready to be gone. I left home at 17. I moved out on my own, and I think my daughter's 13. Does that mean potentially I only have 4 years left with her? Mm-hmm. So it's so important that we spend this time. My wife and I are going on a 3-month cross country trip in October. October through December, we have an RV, and we're going to go all the way up over to Jersey, where I'm from, down to Florida, and then back to San Diego. And it's all because we want to spend this time with our kids, man.
Nice.
That's the most important thing, because you just don't get that time back.
Yeah, you can get more money, but you can't get more time.
Can't get more time, man, no matter what. And when you die, you can't take none of it with you anyway.
None of it. Anyway, like I said, I appreciate you coming through, brother. This is like, it means a lot to me, because like I said, I don't know, when I was growing up, I don't know anybody who had multiple shops. I know people who had like maybe one shop, but I don't know anybody who had multiple shops. So when you wrote me what you wrote me, which like I said, I'll put on the screen, I had to read it twice, like, dang, 3 shops, 3 restaurants, this, that. I was like, man, I need to really talk to this guy.
Man, and I'll tell you, it's just some, I think just when you do right by people, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I barely graduated high school. I'm from really humble beginnings. And if you just focus on like being a good person, treating people right that work for you, and I can tell, man, you're already on your way, and hanging around the right people that are gonna like inspire you. And that's all it is for me, is I just hang around people that inspire me, man. Anybody who's like on the level below, I try not to be around them, because it doesn't serve me in any way, you know what I mean? And then it also, those people get jealous too. They look at you, and instead of being inspired, they get jealous. And I try to tell my guys all the time, man, like, just be inspired. Like, that's all, because life's too short to be like hating on people. You should be happy for people to be successful, and that will help you with your own psychology and being successful too.
That's what the podcast is about. Like, I wanted to be able to show people, like, if I literally came from nothing, you know, left in the hospital when I was born, mom being a drug addict, dad never being there, and I made it to where I'm at, then you really don't have any excuse.
Yep.
You know, it's really about mindset.
Yep.
Where I'm from, there's a lot of little local rappers and local gang members. And when I see them now after they watch the podcast and stuff, they're like, dang, I want to be a barber. Or there's one rapper, YT West, he's been rapping for the longest. His dad's a Crip, he's a Crip. But I noticed he's going to barber school now. And he never really flat out said it's because of you. You know what I mean? Yeah. But in my head, I thinking he seen me take that same route. I did music. I did music for all of these years. And I tell everybody that same story is I made more money barbering 1 year than 8-9 years I did doing music. And we've been in Sony offices, Interscope offices, and everything. And barbering is what brought me to where I'm at today. Like, I'm able to do whatever. I can put my kid in mathnasium, gymnastics, anything, all off doing this. Cutting people's hair. You know what I mean?
That's what it's about, man. And it definitely ain't about being flashy. You know what I mean? It's such a way cooler position to be in, to be able to give your kids what they deserve. You know what I mean? The stuff that you didn't have as a kid. Exactly. I love that. That's the best thing I can do.
That is the best feeling.
It's the best feeling ever.
Ever had barber beef? Like, two barbers in your barbershop that don't get along with one another?
Yeah, that definitely is. It happens. But, and you know, I've kept people way too long in a scenario because I wanted to give them a chance, or I didn't want to be the bad guy or whatever. But the reality is, when you have a poisonous person, it doesn't, because you always know once they're gone, everybody says, yeah, you know, that guy, he wasn't good for the shop. And it's like, well, why wouldn't anybody tell me that 2 months ago?
Ahead of time.
You know, so, you know, my policy kind of is, if it's not working out, you can't change people, right? And it's usually a personality issue, usually. And so that's the time when you just let them know that this probably isn't going to work out. But like I said, I like to hire new barbers, because when they come from somewhere, they've got their own opinion, or they know more than I do, or whatever it is. And so I don't mind hiring them right out of school, giving them an opportunity at the store. And as a matter of fact, like I said, I teach down there at the college, and I am always prying for who wants to come sweep up on the weekends, who wants to sweep at night after school. And then I kind of like have them as a shop helper. And then by the time they graduate, I'll have a chair available for them. So that way they kind of see how I do it. They know what to expect. They know how to treat people. They know the personalities of all the other barbers around them. The other barbers can say, yeah, this guy kind of sucks, whatever. After he's done school, let's just call it quits. But I've had good luck, man. I've been able to give everybody an opportunity that's ever come from the bottom all the way up. And you know, we make a big deal about it. We change their coat color when they become a barber. We do all that kind of stuff to create something to look forward to. And now with Pappy's premiere, they look forward to going over there. Some of the other barbers, when's my opportunity to go over there? You know,
so they're always
there's always somewhere to go. You know what I mean? Otherwise, because that's why people leave your shop. That's why they'll leave your shop, because it's like, well, I'm maxed out on my booth rent, or I'll never make more than this amount of commission. There's this guy down the road is going to give me 10% more, or the rent is $50 cheaper. I'm going to go there. And that doesn't help anybody. You know, it doesn't help you as a shop, because if they're a good barber, it's a bummer to lose them over 10%.
Right.
You know,
definitely.
Or over $50 on booth rental. So I think if you always have something for them to look forward to, especially if you've helped them from zero as a sweeper all the way up to they're making 70, 80, 90 grand a year barbering, they want to move with you. They want to grow with you. And that's really important, you know.
They almost feel obligated.
They feel, they're like, you gave me an opportunity. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm in the same boat. I'd rather hire somebody fresh out of school.
Yep.
So then you can train them
Yep.
the way that you want to train them, because
Yep.
like you said, it's like a dog. Do you want a 5-year-old dog or do you want a puppy?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, and there's a reason why they're coming from other places, because they couldn't get along with people, and it's always the same story, right? What happened over there? I didn't like the boss. It was slow. There's always it's never their problem. Mm-hmm. It's always the shop that they were at's problem. It's never that there's a reason why you've been working at 10 shops the last year. It's not because of the shop.
In my inbox, I always get, I want to come work for there. Then I ask them, what's the number one? It's too slow.
Yeah.
Then I go look at their page. They haven't posted in 2 years.
Yeah.
So do you think you're going to come to culture and then you're just
going to be busy?
Yeah. Like it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
I've only had my shop for 4 years. I do a good job of making it look like it's super busy.
Yeah.
But I always explain to people, when you go to McDonald's and you pull up and the hamburger that's on the Big Mac that's on the window, is that the same Big Mac?
No.
No, it's advertised. It's marketing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then they come to culture and then it's a little bit slow. Then it's, I'm ready to go. Like, bro, you're going to go to 10 different shops. You're responsible for you.
Yeah, you got to stay put too.
You're independent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you really do have to, and that's the one downfall of my shops, that I do a lot of marketing. So they are very, very busy. Like I said, you can come and be busy on day one. If people do less than 10 services in a day, that's a slow day at my shop for anyone. And so the downfall of that is they don't appreciate how busy they are, or they just assume that that's how it is anywhere. Mm-hmm. So I do have to do some education with them also. Like this is an opportunity that you most likely won't get somewhere else. And I've seen it time and time again with people who've left. They go, wow, I didn't realize how good I had it there. Mm-hmm. And now I'm making 10% more, but I'm actually making less money because I'm doing less haircuts.
Yep,
so
grass isn't always greener.
It's not always greener. And this is a business of time. I mean, the longer you stay put, the busier you'll be. Even if you're the worst barber on the planet, you'll still build a clientele over time. There's going to be a group. There's going to be a group of people who want what you do. So
I'm having an issue at my very first shop now. They probably won't be happy to hear this, but people are leaving early, and not staying all the way till 7. The shop says we're open till 7. The last walk in at 6:30, but you guys keep sending people over there to the other shop.
Yep.
And how do you guys think you're going to grow? You know what I mean? And then the very next week it's, oh, the booth rent is too high. How was the booth rent too high if you guys are turning people away?
Yeah.
Like it's one or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, as a business owner, it's kind of frustrated me to where now I don't even want to promote for you guys because you're not there.
You're not going to be there, right?
So, it's
I mean, do you guys have an appointment system, booking system?
So everyone has their own. As you said, you do a lot of promoting for your shop. Well, I do a lot of promoting for my shops too. But then again, if I promote and somebody comes walking in and then you guys tell them, well, we're all booked up, and then other people aren't even there, as an owner, it gets me frustrated to where I don't want to advertise for you guys anymore. So now they're feeling like, and they've expressed this to me in a meeting, that, oh, well, we feel like you only care about shop 2. Well, shop 2 has only been there for 6 months.
Right. Yeah. You
guys have been here for
it.
4 years.
Yeah.
And I've worked here with you guys for that amount of time.
Yeah.
So, it's time for me. I have a new baby now. I got to take care of the new baby. I can't. You're 4 years old.
Yep.
So it's frustrating, but like I said, that's why it's good to talk to you, because you're someone that's in a little further than in the same boat, but a little further.
Yeah.
So I'm learning as I'm talking to you.
Yeah, no, for sure. So. Yeah, that's always the challenge, is with the barbers not understanding that, it's so funny because they want it both ways. They want to be independent, but they don't want to be independent. They want you to do it all for them. So you can't have it both ways. So you either have to you have to stay till 7 and be booked up by the shop keeping you busy, and you have appointments till 7, so you have no choice but to stay there till 7 and make a bunch of money, or you can come and go as you want and be broke. And that's just how, and I don't think there's very few people. That's why everybody's not a business owner, right? Like
everybody has that mindset.
And not everybody has it. So some people they just want to make $100 a day. That's all they want to make. And so once they've made it, I'm going to go over here and have some food. I'm going to go see my lady, whatever, but when you're a business owner, truly a business owner, what's driving you is sticking around at your shop, making sure it looks clean, making sure that it's running smoothly, making sure everybody's getting along. And that's, that's where a lot of the barbers that are just there cutting hair don't understand. And that's why they'll never become an owner, and you need those people too, that are just going to grind all the time, right? You need those people too. But when they complain, it's like, man, the business is there. You're just not taking it.
Right.
Yeah.
I said in one of my podcasts that I don't want anybody working for me for over 4 years, right? Because how long does college take? 4 years.
Yep.
You should graduate by then.
Yep.
Because if you're working for me over 4 years, you're going to start to complain because I'm going to try to keep elevating,
right,
opening more shops,
yep,
and doing this and doing that. And then you're going to look in the mirror and say, hey, I've been working here 6 years. And, well, that's why I don't want, let's get you a shop, yeah, and let's elevate.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because
yep,
if you're not elevating, then you're going to be watching me, and that's where
jealousy comes in, and hatred, and
Selena. Yeah. Look at Selena. She's killed by her.
Yeah, totally.
That's how that happens. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I prefer to have somebody who has a mindset when they come in that, hey, one day I want to own a shop, or one day I want to do this or do that, and then let's yep, get you there, and then I feel like they would have more appreciation for me because this man helped me,
yep,
build, like you said about your client. You
yep,
know what I mean? He probably has the utmost respect
yep,
for you,
totally,
because you changed his life.
Yep, definitely.
So that's good shit. Business side of it, LLC or S corp, which
I keep my businesses as S corps. There's just better tax advantages for it, a little bit more protection on your personal assets and stuff like that. But LLCs are fine too. You can also have an LLC but file taxes as an S corp. So there's a lot of benefits to both ways to incorporate. But all my stores, all my businesses for that matter, are S corps. Individually, yeah. So like each shop has its own S corp, and that's because if somebody slips and falls in one, they're only suing one.
Right.
They're not suing them all. So it's just a little bit easier. I mean, it gets a little pricey when it comes time to do taxes because you're paying all them fees, paying all the fees and all that. But in the grand scheme of things, it's worth the protection, especially once you start, buying homes and you start, having some assets and you have kids to take care of and stuff like that. You don't want it to affect those things personally in your life. So, in my opinion, S corps are the way to go if you have businesses that are doing significantly okay. An accountant might tell you something different, but that's just my take on it.
I watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm an S corp, but I have both shops up underneath one S corp. But right, I've been watching. One owner said have an S corp as a complete umbrella, mm-hmm, but then have each different barbershop
as an LLC. Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it. I mean, it all comes in how you're playing the tax game at the end of the year, what you're planning on doing. Like I said, for me, I'm flipping houses and I'm doing some other stuff. So my finances have to appear a certain way. Right, and that happens through playing the tax game and how do you pay your taxes and what are you writing off and how can you write it off? And, and when I say play a tax game, I'm not saying play something shady, but I'm saying there's a reason why rich people are rich, and it's because they play the tax game too. And the fact is you just want you want your businesses to be taxed and not your personal situation to be taxed. So the way you do things is by, getting with the right kind of an accountant so that they can kind of forward think with you. What are you planning on doing this year? Are you planning on opening another shop? Are you planning on how much are you going to spend on that shop? How much is it going to cost you to buy your new home if that's what you're doing? Or, all those types of things so that you can really be in a place that tax-wise you're not just paying because once you start having some success, man, mid-sized businesses like ours, we pay the taxes. These guys who are making gazillions, they really know how to play the game, and they're not paying anything, So it's really important for us as small business owners to know how we can also play that game so that we can benefit from it too.
Definitely. That was one of my personal questions because I'm kind of in a limbo. Like I said, I'm opening up a new shop. I don't know if I should go get a whole new S Corp or LLC. So that's another thing that I'll probably be picking your brain off of over lunch. We don't got a lot of time. So, power of social media in advertising. I see you have your merch. You got hats, you got stickers, you got air fresheners. Like I said, I wanted to interview you because I see myself in you. You know what I mean? I try to get everything I can to advertise. So my question is, have you been advertising like this since day one, or did someone kind of teach you and explain to you like, hey, you need to get your merch out there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at a point now where I have a marketing person who takes the content that I create and then runs Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google AdWords, all that stuff for me. And then we have a monthly meeting and he says, that content last month, it didn't perform great. Nobody watched it or whatever. And then we kind of, have a monthly meeting to see what's working and what's not working. So, because again, it's once you get to a certain level, it's all about buying your time back. I just don't have the time to figure it out. And so by paying someone to do it, it helps. And it's semi-affordable too. It's not like you don't have to spend 10 grand a month to market your business, especially a small business like ours, because it's so hyper local. There's no point for me to advertise to people in Oceanside, my shop. They're just not going to come there. Right. Exactly. No matter how cool it is or whatever, they're just not going to come. So the amount of dollars that you can spend locally is just so much more powerful than trying to spend that money if you're trying to sell some nationwide product or something. Exactly. But the best thing, and I tell the barbers this every day, is the best thing you can do is give your service away, because against the advice of most business gurus, my feeling is that, and I tell the barbers, you should be giving away a free service every single day. If somebody comes in, it's their first time in, or they're getting married, or they just had a kid, or whatever the issue, it's their birthday, give them that service for free, because first of all, they come in expecting to pay. So now when you give them something for free, they're like blown away by it. And then they go, dude, I went to this shop. It looked super cool. The guy was nice. And at the end, he didn't even charge me. He just told me it was my birthday and he gave it to me for free. I can't believe it. And he tells 10 people about it. Next thing you know, they're all coming. That guy's going to come. Not only is he going to come back to the shop, he's going to come back to you, and I'm okay with you giving away the service, even on the commission barbers. I'm like, because I want them to be busy, and I want them to be busy with people that want to come to them, not that necessarily want to come to the shop. Right. So, and those dollars are, would you rather spend $1,500? In my opinion, I'd rather spend $1,500 on giving away service to people who are in my shop already than give $1,500 to Google and maybe I'll get some people back from that. Exactly. So in my opinion, I feel like especially in the beginning for new barbers, and if you're at a shop that's not busy just on its own, giving away those services is huge, because if you blow them away with customer service, with a crispy haircut, and you're giving it away for free, they'll be blown away and they'll be a customer forever. And they'll let everybody know. And most of the time, if you charge, like we charge 40 at my shop, they're going to give you the money anyway. A lot of times they're going to, oh no, I don't want it for free here. Or here's $30 or 20 for a tip, whatever. So you still made something off of it. So, my opinion always is anytime there's a special occasion, when I was cutting right at the end before I opened my first restaurant, and I was still cutting, and I had a girl who just moved from Missouri and she was working for me, and she worked right next to me. And she was like, do you charge anybody for a haircut? And I was like, good point. Like, I feel like I'm not charging anybody anymore, but I'm at a point where I could do that now too. Right. So like everybody was sitting down and everybody had been my client for 10 years and I'm just, it's on me, you know, don't worry about it, whatever. But those clients, when I go walk into the shop today, when I go there after this, all of those same clients are still there. They're just now paying the other barbers to do it, you know?
That's good.
And that's the way, that's the kind of culture you want to build at your shop, where even when you're not cutting anymore, when you're at shop number 2, you don't want them to follow you to that shop. You want them to stay where they're at.
Yeah. I've lost a lot of clients. I ain't gonna say lost, but I've given up a lot of my clients
to your own shop. Yeah, that's how you want it to be. You want to
get it on the back end.
Yeah, you want to look down that aisle and you want to see all your customers there, because you want them to appreciate your business, because people love to see you grow too. Like your good customers, they love to see, oh, you're opening another shop. Wow, you're opening a restaurant. Wow, you're doing this. That's so cool. And, you know, that also makes people want to come because they see you growing too, and they want to support what you're doing too. You know, they're not getting jealous or whatever. And it's just those are better customers to have. You don't want people who are cheap and, you know.
You guys are in a little bit better area than us. Oceanside people, they're a little bit cheap.
Yeah.
We got a lot of Marines.
Yeah, so, that's true. They're on limited income and they're not used to paying, you know, what do you guys charge over there?
30 for Marines,
right?
And then 40 for a regular haircut.
Yeah, so 30. I mean, they can get it on base for $7 or whatever, you know. So I mean,
in 10 minutes.
And they're just wanting to pass their regulations anyways. So yeah, that's a little bit hard. It's a little bit different. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Cool, man. Yeah, no problem. It's great to be here.
Brother.
Yeah, we'll come back again and do it again.
We'll do it again. I get on the podcast with you, definitely.